Hello everyone, welcome back to the data science program. In this video we'll be covering a topic and the topic is functions as a first class citizens. So we are going to study about the first class citizens, and there are few languages like there are multiple languages which support this concept of first class citizens. There are languages like C, C++, Java. All these languages have this concept. So first I will tell you guys what are these first class citizens. So till now we have studied different data types, like we have studied integer, we have studied floats, we have studied booleans and other data types. We have studied list, tuples. So in all the programming languages these data types work as a first class citizens. Why they are called as first class citizens? Because there are multiple operations which you can do on these type of data types. Till now we have studied what you can do with these type of data types. You can pass these data types as an argument. We have done that. We have used integer, we have passed integer, we have returned an integer as a value. So but Python is a special language. Why Python is a special language? Because in Python treats functions as a first class citizens. If you compare other programming languages, they have this concept, but in Python they treat function also as a first class citizens. So if you think carefully, till now we have covered functions, and in functions, if you think of function as a first class citizens, what they do is they do multiple operations. Like first you can assign a function to a variable. Till now what we have done, we have created a variable. Let's say we have created a variable by the name of a. Let's say, so we have a variable by the name of a, and we have assigned an integer like a equals to 10. So here we have an integer as a data type, and we have assigned we have assigned this 10 value to this a. So that means we can assign a data type to a variable. That means data type is a first class citizen. Similarly in Python you can do that same with the functions as well. You can assign a function to a variable. Similarly you can do other operations, like you can return function, and there is one more operation. You can pass function as an argument to the other function. So without wasting any time, I will take you guys to the collab notebook, and I will show you guys what are these first class citizens and how we are using them. So here we have, I have written the definition which I have already discussed. Functions are first class citizens. Functions in Python are first class objects, which means you can pass them to other functions as an argument, which we have already discussed. We can return function to the other functions, and you can store them inside a variable and data structures. So we will see these topics one by one. Till now we know if we have a variable by the name of a. Let's say we have 2. So we know integers are data types, and we can call them as a first class citizen. So if you want to check the type of a here, so we will get the output as an integer here. Similarly, if you want to check a type of a function, you can do that same, because functions are also first class citizens in Python. So if you try to check, suppose we are creating a function here. We are creating def, and let's say we are creating a function by the name of cube. We are creating a cube function, and we are going to return what we are going to return here. We are returning, and inside this cube we are having a parameter num, and we are returning num, and we are doing 3. And if we now what we will do, if you simply call this function, we will get the output depending on the input which you give. But here what we can do is we can simply check the type of cube. If you do that, and if you run the cell, we will get the output, and it's showing function. Similarly, we have done here, we have checked the type of a, which was integer. So you can call the function as a first class citizen. Here we understood why data types are called as first class citizen, and similarly we are calling functions also as a first class citizen. So what does it mean? It means that functions are a kind of data type in Python. So you can call functions as a data type in Python, and they are also known as first class citizen. And similarly, if you have here we have created a variable a. So if you want to check the id of a, similarly do a id of a, it will show us the position of that variable a. So id of a refers to this position. Similarly, you can check the id of I will add one more cell here. So I will add one more cell. Let's say we have we want to check id of cube, because we have created the function cube. Similarly, you can check that, and whatever operation you can do on the integers or other data types, you can do all those operations on function as well. See, the id of cube refers to this 1375 and so on. And next is assign. So what you can do is, we have created the function cube, and you can assign this function to a variable. So let's say we are creating a variable by the name of let's say y, and we are storing storing the cube value to this y. And now if I try to print, what I will do is I will simply try to print y. I will try to print y, and we will get the output. Here we will get the complete function. We are getting the complete function as the output. And what we can do here is, you can simply use because we have assigned this cube value to this cube function to this y, you can simply do this y of, and if you are giving the value as 3, so now it will, what it will do is it will simply multiply 3 into 3 into 3, and we will get the output as 9 here. So if you run the cell, we will get directly 27 as the output. See, we are getting 25. So what does it mean? It means that you can simply assign a function to a variable, which we have done that. And similarly, you can delete a function. Here we have created the function by the name of cube. You can simply use the keyword del, and just provide the function name. We are providing the function name, and the function name is cube. Function name is cube, and just run the cell. And after that, if you try to use that same function, now what we will try to do here is, we will simply try to, because we have assigned this cube value to this y, I will try to use y of 2. So I want to check whether we are getting 3 into 3, but we won't get that output because we have already deleted that function. So if I run the cell, we will get error as the output here. Actually I'm getting the output, but let me check why, because we have not if I have not run the cell, I guess. So if I run the cell here, we have run the cell, and if I try to call, what I will do here is, I will simply try to call I will call the function cube. There is some internet issue, I guess. So if I try to call the function by the name of cube, and if I try to provide 3 as the input, and if I try to run the cell, we will get error as the output, because we have already deleted that function. And now we will check how to store a function. Till now we have stored different data types, because these were the first class citizens. Similarly, we can do that same with the functions as well. So I will create a list. Let's say we have a list by the name of L here, and what I will do is, I will store different data types inside this list. Let's say we have integer, and then we have float, and then we have complex. What I will do is, I will simply add one complex, and then we can add a boolean inside this. So I will add a boolean, and similarly you can add functions as well. So what I will do is, I will simply quickly I will create one more function here. So I will create a function by the name of, let's say, square. I'm creating a function by the name of square here, and I'm providing n as the parameter here. I'm providing n as the parameter, and I will simply return here n and square, and I'm not calling the function here. What I will do is, I will simply run the cell, and I will add this square to this list. I will simply try to add this square to this list. I'm adding this square, and now if you try to print L here, we won't get any error. Directly we will get the output, and we will get the output as 4.65 plus 6j, and in place of square we will get the complete function here. So if I try to print L here, we will get the complete function here. See, we are getting all these outputs, all these data types, and in place of this function we are getting the complete function as we have got this output earlier. So, and one more thing what you can do here is you can fetch this square by using the index position. You can use the positive index position. You can fetch this square by using the positive indexing or the negative indexing, depending on your choice. So what I will do is I will simply use the negative indexing here, -1, and now if I run the cell, we will get square directly. And if I use L of -1, and if I give the value as let's say 5, it will directly give us the output as 25 here. See, we are getting 25 as the output here, and I think we have studied this under this storing a function. So what I will do is I will simply copy this. I will simply write this topic on top of this code. So I will add one more cell here, and I will write store a function, store a function. So I have written it below that topic. So what I have done is I have written that topic name again, and simply what I will do is I will simply delete these 2 cells, because we have already discussed this topic. So I will simply delete this cell. And what you can do is you can check the mutability of a function. So mutability means you whether the functions are mutable or immutable. Mutable means if you can do changes to it, or immutable, which you cannot do changes to it. So in the previous lectures we have already discussed sets. So under sets, what happens is set is a mutable data type, but sets does not allow any mutable data type inside sets. So if what we will try to do here is we will create a set, and we will try to add function inside that set, and if it's allowing us to add function inside sets, that means sets are immutable. So what I will do here is I will simply create a set. That's the syntax of an empty set, and because sets does not allow mutable data types, so if I try to add square inside this set, and if you are getting the output, that means functions are immutable and you cannot do changes to a function. So here I will try to print s directly, and you can see we will not get any error here. Instead we are getting the complete function. That means functions are immutable. And now we will see one small code snippet, and we will see returning a function. So we will be using a function, and that function will be returned to another function. So I will create one function, and I will show this piece of code on Python Twitter as well. So I will create a function by the name of def, and so let's say we are creating a function by the name of f, and we have one more function here. Let's say we have function x, and this x has 2 parameters, a comma b. We have these 2 parameters, and this x returns a plus b. Let's say it returns a plus b, and the function f returns it. Here what we are doing is we are simply returning a function only, because we have to show functions are first class citizen. That's why we are using the function here, and we are returning this function to another function. So we are simply returning x only here. So here we are not returning any value. Till now what we have done, we have returned other data types like integers and strings, but here we are returning a function instead. So here we are returning x, and what is this x? This x is a function itself. So we are returning this, and what we are doing here is we are returning x, and we are creating a variable by the name of val, and we have function, and inside this we are giving the value as 10 and 20, let's say. So and at last we will simply print val. We will print val. Okay, we'll print val. So see, initially it will find f, and then it will come on this position f, function f, and we will pass these two, and this when we will call this function f, this value will be stored inside this val. So it will come here, and then it will come here, def x of a comma b, and then it will return x, and then this 10 and 20 will be passed to a and b, and the addition will be passed to this val, and we will simply print val. So if I print the cell, we will simply get 30 as the output here, and I will show this piece of code. See, we are getting 30 as the output here, and what I will do is I will simply copy this, and I will show you guys on Python tutor how this piece of code is getting executed on Python tutor. So I will simply paste, and I will show you guys the execution of this piece of code. So see, whenever Python interpreter finds this def keyword, Python knows there is a function, so it jumps, it will come to this point, val. So at this point we are calling the function f, so it will come back to f again, and here it will go to this x a comma b, and at here this x is returning a function x. We are returning x, and then it will come back to this def of x a comma b, and this a comma b is coming from this 10 and 20, and we are simply adding these two. We are returning a plus b, and this a plus b is we are storing inside val. See, we are storing inside val, and we are simply printing val, so we are getting 30. So that's about this problem, and that's about this problem, returning a function. Now we will see one more, passing function as an argument. So you can pass a function as an argument to another function. So we will create a function def a. And let's say we are printing we will print inside a. We are right now inside function a. So then we have one more function, and this function is not inside this outer function. Both are separate functions. So def, and we are creating one more function b. And here we are printing, and inside this b we are passing z. I will explain this. And then we are printing inside we are printing inside b here, and then we are returning this z function. So we are returning this z function, and at last, see, here we have a, and we are printing inside a, and then b. At last, what we will do is we will simply print b, and then we will pass a. And now if I run the cell, we will initially get inside b, and then we will get inside a. See, inside b and inside a. So what I will do is I will simply show you guys on Python tutor. Just wait for a few seconds. So see, we have this code snippet here, and so we have this function a. If I click on next, it goes to this function b, and then we are printing b of a. So b of a means we are passing this function a to this z. So directly it will go to this b, and it will print b inside b. So it's going to def b of z, and we are simply, first statement is print inside b. So we are printing inside b, and we are printing inside b. If I click on next, we will print inside b, and then it's going to return z, and in z we are passing function a. So if we are going on z, we are passing, then we are going to def a, and we are simply printing inside a. And since this does not have any return value, so it returns none. By default it has a return it has a return value that is none. So I will again explain this piece of code, because sometimes if you see this kind of code snippet, so it gets confusing. So initially it checks there is a function a, and then we have a function b. So I will show you guys from the beginning only. So we have a function a, then we have a function b, and then we are printing function b. We are printing function b, and inside b we have in this b function we have inside b, and after that, after printing inside b, we are returning z, and this z we are passing function a. So that means we are calling function a, and when we are calling function a, inside function a we have a print statement inside a. So we are getting inside a, and because there is no by default there it's not returning any value, so by default it has a return value that is none, so we are getting this none. So that's about this lecture, and it was a small concept but really important concept, because all the programming languages they have this concept, and Python is a special language because in Python you can do things which you cannot do in other languages. So Python gives you this flexibility of using functions as a first class citizen. So that's about this video. Thank you for watching.